contrast to the snow white of his hair and beard.
"Answer me, you stupid girl! What are you doing in my study?"
He emphasized the "my" by smacking the rolled-up pages against the palm of his hand. I... Fear made her tongue useless. She watched the pages as they thumped into Simon's hand over and over, like a club he would use to hit something. Hit her. No, he wouldn't do it. He'd never laid a finger on her, even when she'd railed at him for weeks after informing her that she could never leave the Grange, never receive callers, never receive friends, never receive potential suitors. He hadn't used violence then, and he wouldn't use it now. She was sure of it. For some reason, he thought physical force perfectly acceptable with his servants, but not with his niece. She supposed she should be grateful for small mercies. If nothing else, that knowledge gave her the courage to speak now. "I was looking for some parchment for sketching." It was the truth, or close to it. She had run out of parchment, but she'd been looking for the steward to ask him to fetch more when she realized her ever-present guard was asleep and her uncle away for the afternoon. Ordinarily, Widow Dawson never let Pippa out of her sight, but she'd not turned up, thanks to a chest cough that kept her abed. The sudden taste of freedom and the yearning to discover the reason for her imprisonment led her to her uncle's study. "I found those instead." She nodded at the papers in his hand.
"You should never come in here. Ever!"
He stepped closer, only an arm's length away.
"This is my private study, and these are my private papers. Do you understand me?"
"Perfectly." He must think her too dull-witted to have understood what she'd read. But then, he had never taken much interest in her, before her father's death, and especially after it. How could he possibly have known that her father had ensured his only child received a good education? And with nothing else to do during her imprisonment at the Grange, she devoured every book in her uncle's library, even the obscurest Greek poets. Widow Dawson had asked her friends and relations for reading material, but books were difficult to come by in Shelton. Simon's ignorance of his niece's education would prove to be his folly. She had a head for numbers and accounts, something her father had put to good use as his health failed in the year before his death. "I understand that you have been stealing from me, uncle." She would not let him get away with it. He might be her uncle and her guardian, but he was taking her money, her dowry. She might need it one day. She hadn't completely given up on being rescued by a knight in shining armour, although she had to admit knights, like books, were thin on the ground in Shelton.
"Stealing?"
Simon snorted. With his round face and broad nose, the sound made him resemble a pig.
"I'm merely taking what I am owed. Keeping you in the manner to which you have become accustomed is a costly business."
"Nonsense! It is clear from those figures that you are taking more than that. Much more. I demand an explanation. No, I demand every last penny be returned to me. With interest." Ha! Let him see what this stupid girl was capable of. He stared at her. Then he burst into laughter.
"Or you'll what?"
She flexed her fingers as an odd tingling sensation warmed them. It seemed to be emanating from deep within, where her rage surged like a tide. She forced herself to remain calm. Anger would not solve this situation. It required clear thinking and calculated words. "I will get out of here one day, uncle, and I can assure you when I do, I will retrieve everything you owe me."
"With interest?"
His laughter